Now, earlier, National Development Minister Lawrence Wong said a new stay-home notice will be introduced for Singapore residents and long-term pass holders returning from mainland China. They will be required to remain at home at all times for 14 days. The new scheme will take effect from tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. and apply to all returnees with recent travel history to China within the last 14 days.
There are substantial number of Singaporeans, citizens, permanent residents, and long-term pass holders still in China. Right? I think at some point in time, they will want to come back to Singapore, especially after the Chinese New Year holidays. And there is a higher chance now that some of them will be infected with the virus. And that's why we have decided to introduce a new stay-at-home notice for all who are returning from China. We will issue them the notice when they arrive at the airport and then ensure that they immediately go back and they will comply with this new requirement. This will also cover all the workers with work permit holders or work pass holders who are returning. For these workers, we have said earlier that the employers are already required to seek prior approval from MAM before they return.
The new scheme replaces the current leave of absence, which will no longer be issued. The stay-home notice will be stricter than the LOA, which has allowed those returning to leave their homes briefly, for example, for their meals or to buy household supplies.
This stay-at-home notice will be stricter than the LOA, than the leave of absence, in that we will require everyone coming back to stay at home throughout the 14-day period. So unlike the LOA, they will not be allowed to even leave their homes briefly at all. Right? They will have to stay at home strictly throughout the 14-day period, and we will apply this to all who are coming back. We have already put in place some penalties, and we will ensure that the penalties are stricter. Right? So anyone who's on long-term pass that doesn't comply with the regime, we will revoke the passes. A Singaporean who doesn't comply with the regime, we will be able to prosecute under the Infectious Diseases Act. So the penalties will be in place, and we will ensure that there is strict compliance with this new notice.
The budget statement is tomorrow, and Finance Minister Heng Swee Keat has said it will have a package to assist households with cost of living to address concerns about expenses amid the coronavirus outbreak. Other broad-based measures include wage support to help companies preserve jobs for local workers, as well as tax rebates and rental waivers for firms to address cash flow issues. And to break it all down, the Straits Times and Money FM 89.3 will host a panel discussion tomorrow evening right after the budget statement. It will be live on the Straits Times Facebook page and YouTube channel, as well as on Money FM 89.3. In the meantime, I'm Olivia Quay. Thanks for watching and good night.